Welcome back to another episode of the Zeus Podcast. I'm your host, Zeus The Prophet, and not even the force of Mother Nature can stop it, but I can. This platform, we speak truth, real growth, real conversations. This podcast is proudly presented and sponsored by iQuality Online, a digital platform focused on personal growth, financial awareness, and real world success strategies. On this podcast, where we give people their flowers while they can still smell them, and where we go beyond titles and surface level success to understand the real thinking behind the people building real impact in this world. This is episode 9: Culture, Fatherhood, and Australian Hip Hop, the NJE story. Today, I am joined by somebody who represents a lived chapter of Australian hip hop culture, not just through music, but through experience, evolution, and stepping into fatherhood, while still navigating the realities of identity, responsibility, creative expression. An artist who understands that culture is not just built in studios, it is built in homes, in communities, and in the silent discussions we make when nobody's watching. Someone who has witnessed the shifts in Australian hip hop from raw underground storytelling to a more visible and recognized cultural force, while still understanding that the real strength of this culture has always been authenticity, resilience, and lived truth. A man balancing the world of artistry and fatherhood, understanding that legacy is not just what you leave in music, but also what you leave in the people you carry your name forward. In a world where attention is currency and noise is constant, he represents something grounded, somebody who understands that real respect is earned through consistency, presence, and character, not just visibility. A voice shaped by culture, responsibility, and real influence and real life experience. Today, we go beyond music, beyond image, and into the mindset of the evolution and the real story behind the man. First, I want to ground this space with a prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Heavenly Father, thank you for this moment, this conversation, and this connection. Bless this discussion. Bless everyone listening, and let this conversation bring clarity, growth, strength, and wisdom to those who need it the most. In Jesus' name, amen. NJE, welcome to the Zeus Podcast, brother.
How you going, man?
I'm doing good, man. I've had a blessed week. Man, everything seems to be aligning perfectly. How's your week been going?
Busy, man. Non-stop. Just work, and dad life, and never ends, man. But just smiling and feeling blessed with this life, right?
Well, God
Yeah.
bless you, brother. I wanted to start at the very beginning, not just a highlighted reel, not the Spotify numbers, not the shows. I want to start with the foundation. Tell us, where were you born, and what do you remember most about your early environment growing up?
Well, I was born in New Zealand, in Auckland, and a small city called Pakuranga. I remember New Zealand was like another life for me, bro. So grew up in love with family, like mum and dad, sister. It was a good time, but those memories are so vivid, so long ago, and New Zealand to me is just, oh wow, it's just holds a special place in my heart. But then I moved to Australia when I was 8, and life changed. Had to adjust. So the weather was a lot hotter. Um, yeah, and just people were different. I had to adjust to all that. You know, um, but it was cool. Like it was a challenge, and I accepted the challenge, and just moved forward and adjusted and got to know people, and yeah, um, Australia was very different.
What do you remember most about your early environment?
Just being a happy kid, man. Just enjoying being a child. And I feel lucky for that. Like I think that's important for a child to enjoy childhood, and not grow up too quick. Just enjoyed being a kid. I think that's very important. As a father myself now, I try to encourage my son to have as much fun as possible. Yeah.
Absolutely, brother. So, well, what did culture look like inside your home when you were a kid?
Well, my parents were English bloodline. Um, so the household was very like English based, but we lived in New Zealand. So it was different, very different. And then when we moved to Australia, it's like you got the English, you got the people that came from New Zealand, and then you got the Australian culture coming through. So it's a blend of everything, really. And then you got kids coming through of all nations. I went to a very multicultural primary school and high school, and befriended kids of all nations, and we were all coming through. And my mum would just be welcoming of these kids, and to this day, I'm still friends with some of those kids. And yeah, it's special, man. Like, yeah, I've always been taught to be kind and, just embrace people, I guess, you know what I mean? I was lucky to live like this, looking back, you know. Yeah, just thankful, to be honest. Now my parents have passed, I look back at those memories and just I feel very blessed for those memories and very thankful. I remind people whose parents are still present to embrace that and just appreciate it for what it is.
God rest their soul, man.
Respect. Thank you.
So, were you closer to your mom or your dad, or?
Probably split down the middle, man. Like mom's love was so different to a father's love, and it's just how do you bond with? When I was younger, I'd lean more on my mum, but also I need my dad too. You know what I mean? So I find that also being a father, I find my son needs his mum's love. He also needs his dad's love. So it's like it's hard to say. It's hard to say, really. Like, it depends on what you need at that present moment and, where you can get it from. Sometimes it's from a brother or a sister, um, you know, sometimes it's from a friend, sometimes it's from an uncle. So it's like, where can you find that thing you need? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What was the first moment hip hop made you feel like you belonged to something bigger than yourself?
Man, I used to be one of those kids where like I'd be in school and they were playing the radio like back in the day, the radio. Yeah, so they're playing the radio and I remember Snoop Dogg coming on. Yeah, I remember Snoop Dogg coming on. Like, what was that song? What's My Name? And I was like, bro, who's this? This is like,
What's my motherfucking
bro,
name?
this is like, it was so unique the way it came out and just, you had Vanilla Ice as well. He was popping off like that beat was just epic. Like
Yeah,
then, like the way they flipped it. Like when I was exposed to that type of stuff, I was like, this is kind of cool. What is this? Like, and being in Australia, like it came across different to the Americans, to yeah, other places. Then I would like to be intrigued by watching music videos and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I grew up in the MTV era, the Rage era. So I used to put on Rage late at night, and then I'd wake up when I'd hear the hip hop beats. I'd be like, "Wow!" I'd leave it on all night, man, and then I was just like, "Wow, what is this?" I seen like Nas and Tupac and Biggie, and wow, I was just like, all these talented dudes. Like, just that just blew my mind. Like Coolio was amazing. Rest in peace to Coolio. Man, like that just inspired me so much. It's like I like this this style they have, from the clothes to the way they walked to the way they rapped, the way they spoke. Just the hip hop culture. I fell in love with it, man. And it was another world that when you were going through life and whatever, you could go that route and go, I got to go back and play my hip hop, put your headphones on and just zone out. So it took me to a place where I wanted to be. You know what I mean? So I loved it first and foremost.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so when was the first time you recorded music and how did that moment feel?
Okay. So I was about 17, right? And I had a very, very good friend of mine. We used to stay at each other's house and play music all night and just we would be showing each other, hey, remember this song, da da da. And like back then music was less accessible. So it'd be like you bring a CD over, he'd bring a CD, and you just swap and exchange and whatever. And I remember like showing him various stuff and one day he's like, I got a microphone. Look at this. I got a microphone. I go, what do you want to do with that? He's like, we could rap along to like Biggie or something, like let's rap the Biggie verse. And I'm like, oh yeah, okay. What about if we actually wrote something there? And I remember getting a Lauryn Hill beat, do wop that thing, and it's like, oh yeah, this is sick. And I wrote something to it, and and I made a rap, little just a verse, but that was the start. And I listened back to that many times. I'm like, whoa, yeah, that won't be heard. Sorry, guys. But it started something, you know what I mean? And back then I used to like source out like tracks with like instrumental at the end. And then I'd just record the part where the instrumental was, and then I'd stop it and then record it again, and then I'd just rap over that part. So I'd be all off beat and all like whack as fuck, pardon my French. But it just
No,
spawned.
you're right, man. On this podcast, you can do whatever
Okay,
you like, man.
okay.
There's no rush, there's no limits.
But like that right there, it sparked things in me, you know what I mean? Like it's early days, like I'm just trying to express whatever I'm feeling, going through. And I was just making verses and da da. And then eventually I write a hook so it was bad, but
So
it all
was that the first time that you realized music was more than just a hobby
yeah,
and actually part of your life path?
yeah, it was like something that I'd
At
just do.
17?
Like I'd wait till everyone was out of the house too, because I was embarrassed. And I'd just be like, oh, no one's home.
Right.
Push the record, turn the beats up loud, and just it was just my thing. Like, you know what I mean, to express myself. And I used to have a thing where I'd come home from work or being out with friends, and I'd sit in bed and I'd just write. I'd do a verse a night, and I just constantly build my vocab. And I used to write, like, get a dictionary, or whatever, and just memorize certain words and go, I'm going to use that in a rap, and I put it down on the paper, and I make sure I use it to boost the vocab, and yeah, back then the music, the what I was writing
Absolutely.
wasn't the best, but I know it was going to be part of something greater. So we all humble beginnings, you know what I mean? Like I was offbeat as man. Like,
Absolutely.
looking back, if I heard some of that stuff now, I'd be like, oh no, this never. Yeah, yeah.
I can relate, man. When I first started doing this hip hop shit, man, I was whack as fuck, man. But I saw something in myself that others didn't see yet. I'd said to
That's it.
myself, if I took the time to perfect it, if I just gave it some consistency in day after day, month after month, year after year, I became better at it.
It's
So
like anything,
to all
right?
those who are
That's what
watching right
I
now,
try to
it just doesn't happen.
overnight. That's
Mm,
right. And that's why I always encourage these young kids, like I say, if you really, really want to do it, you've really got to put in those hours and hours and hours. Like a good song doesn't happen overnight.
absolutely.
Like it takes time.
And a good artist isn't just a superstar automatically.
They're a
It
perfectionist.
takes years of practice. It takes years of practice, years of consistency, years of struggle,
Yeah,
years of failing, but learning from those mistakes and
100%.
what to do better next time.
100%.
So, what was the biggest struggle? What was the biggest struggle you faced trying to establish yourself in Australian hip hop early on?
To be honest, in the early days, man, not being Australian, straight up, not being Australian.
Talk to me about that.
And
Mm.
I was not accepted. Why do you sound American? Why do you why do you sound different? Whoa. I'd go and I felt so like I've really got to explain myself. I mean, I want to be nice and I don't want them to
Mm,
hate me. I'd be like, well, I'm New Zealand born to English parents and I live in Australia. So dude, I'm actually gonna
right.
sound different. I'm never gonna sound like, hey, go, mate. You wanna cook some shrimp on the barbie? I'm not gonna like with all due respect, I'm not gonna sound like that, bro.
Yeah, with all due respect,
Yeah, like if you want to rap
there's
like
those
that,
type
that's
of
up to you.
things that we
Me
face.
personally, I'm not gonna feel that type of rap. I can't relate to that kind of rap, but if that's you, that's do you, you know. But me, I'm an ethnic kid,
That's right.
and I've got to express what I feel, what I've lived, what I've been through. I grew up with multicultural kids. This is a blend of everything. I am a blend of everything and everyone that I've grew up with, that I've came up with. So what you hear is what you get. I'm not trying to be someone else. I'm not trying to be American. I'm raised of American culture, yes, but I also raised by Australian culture too. Um, so it's good now that it's more acceptable, but like back then, oof, man, it was. I had a guy saying like, I remember I used to go into forums to try to build my name up, and I can remember vaguely one instance where like this guy was like, man, you're whack, bro. I'm gonna come to your show and I'm gonna throw a bottle at you. I'm like, yeah, okay, well, I'll see you at the show
On
then. And I was on the lookout all show, like, is this guy really gonna come and like, because I didn't know how he looked. It's a forum, and I was on guard, like, is someone really, really gonna do that? Because you don't know, and they didn't come. It didn't happen. He was just talking shit, but you just didn't know. You just
internet keyboard warriors.
But the funny thing is, like looking back, man, like there was so much of that. And I don't know, like sometimes I wonder how I overcame all that because the pressure was a lot. And I could still put out music and still do my shows. And I'd be like, oh, maybe someone's going to come and they're going to start trouble. They're going to come up to me. I don't like you. Like, I don't know, like who knows what's going to happen. But it never happened, man. Like, I'm like, look, they
It's always sitting at in the back of your
It
mind.
really is, man, but it's always back there. It's like they're going to test you, like, and it develops for me. That develops it allows me to develop thick skin in this game, in this industry, in this scene, because you're always against the grain. Well, back then I was. Now I feel like I reach out to artists, various artists. They show love. They want to be a part of what you do. They want to be a part of your shows, and you've been on my show. It's like
Yeah, absolutely, man. I've had the pleasure to jump on one of your shows back last year in September.
and
That was a big honor
it was
for
a
me,
good
brother. It's
time.
part of one of the reasons why I wanted to get you on the podcast, man, because I felt as though you're somebody who's genuine,
Thank you.
who's real, man. There's a lot of people that say they're real, but they don't come through with action. If you're somebody
That's
that
true.
just doesn't speak just to speak, it's a big honor for me to have you here today, brother. So let me ask
Yeah,
you. You do shows all over Australia, brother. How does hip hop culture differentiate between Sydney and everywhere else in Australia from your experience?
man. In all honesty, every state is so different. Like from the people to the way things are done, um, the culture, the way people speak. Sometimes the support. I find out of all the states right now, the most supportive state would probably be like WA, man. Like Perth hip hop, that is crazy. Like the support out there is wild. Like props to the Perth scene. Like I got love for all the scenes all over. Like it's great to come city to city, state
Mm.
to state. I feel so blessed to do this at my age. But Perth is just like I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the timing. Maybe it's just they respect someone coming all the way from Sydney. Maybe that's a factor. But I also went to Tasmania recently over my first time in 10 years. That was very, very good because
How's that like?
very, very good because like once again they respect that you're venturing down to a place where a lot of people just leave off because they think it's too hard. And to be honest, I thought it was going to be too hard as well, but it was very successful, and I was surprised. And you just you just look around like, wow, this is a beautiful thing. I've united all these young MCs, and here I am, an older head, and I'm doing my thing, and they're showing love, and I'm looking out. I'm like, oh, this is wild. They know my music. They show love. They want the photo taken at the end. They want to shake your hand. They want to have a drink with you. Incredible, man.
That's what I've noticed too, as well, and on your shows. I mean, people even know your lyrics word by word. I've seen those dedicated fans rock up to every single one of your shows,
yeah,
and that's just awesome to me. You know that following there, where they're true diehard fans and they respect what you do, and every time that you perform, they're there at your shows, and I love that about how you perform and how you bring hip hop to another level here, and when you come down to Melbourne.
yeah. Melbourne's always fun, man. Melbourne's very supportive, great place. Something about the culture there is just beautiful, man. And I love Radio Bar, man. Like, shout out to Paul, shout out to
Yeah.
Karen,
Shout outs to Paul and Karen.
fantastic people. Yeah, it's just always a good time, man. But you know, just just enjoying the ride and enjoying the journey, bro. Yeah.
I appreciate that. No, that's pretty profound. Now, how have you personally seen Australian hip hop evolve over the years?
Well, man, in many ways. So it used to be very much like your goal was to get on Triple J, like really crack through. You wanted that one song on Triple J. That's kind of gone now. That's gone. So if
Yeah.
you were to get on the J's, bro, like a rotation of a song, you would just take off. Like there's guys still out here today doing what they do to a big crowd, like say 360 or someone like that, for example, Seth Century, all big crowds still because they had that hit 10, 15 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I
Mm,
always aimed for that. I never got it, but I got close. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm still blessed enough to
yeah.
do it to a level of like I can still travel and do well on my tours because of consistency and by putting out quality music, putting out albums, putting out mixtapes, professional videos, professional promo. It's the way you execute it. You know what I mean? If you do it in a certain way and you respect each and every person that shows you the time of day, thank you to the people, and you're thankful. After the show, you shake hands. People will come back, bro. You know what I mean? Like you gotta spread that love. It's very important. So
I think you've just spoken to a certain aspect of the culture
yeah,
that needs reminding that you are, where you are in this world is because of the respect that people give you, the love that people give you,
I agree.
and if you don't reciprocate, you don't give that back.
No,
There's that cosmic karma that comes back to bite you on the
well, if
ass.
someone's paying money, if someone's paying money to come and see you live, I'm so thankful for that person. I'm thankful for their friend. I'm thankful for their brother, their sister, their girlfriend coming. I'm gonna shake your hands. Thank you so much for coming through. I really appreciate it. Really nice to meet you because, bro, they could be anywhere and they come to see you. And when I'm interstate, especially, that helps cover what I'm putting out there. It costs a lot to do what I do.
Even if they don't pay to come and see your shows, even if you put on a free show, still getting amongst the crowd and thanking people for even showing up, for
That's
them
right.
being there in presence. I think that's very important too.
100%. Just give out, like if people are, they're willing to come out and then, the cash may be a bit lower. So sometimes I'll just go, hey, man, like I remember having a guy he had a situation in Hobart like that, and he he seemed quite distressed, and he's like, "I just wanted to come show my love," and I'm like, "What do you mean you don't have a ticket?" I'll go, "Nah, don't worry, man. I'm putting you on my list. Come up." Like you got it. Like it's like you're here, and you just wanted to shake my hand. Come see the show. Come upstairs. Like like you just got to do it right. It's important,
Absolutely.
and they remember that.
So what did you think? So, what parts of the culture have improved and what parts do you think we still need to protect?
I think unity is getting better, but at the same time, it still could improve. The more unity we have, the better we're going to be. Like, don't just because someone's a little different to your style, just respect the art. You know what I mean? It's like, personally, me, I don't really support like gun music, like negative. I'm not really like supportive of that type of vibe because I I like to make sure that
Same,
the
man.
kid,
It's negative frequencies.
yeah, I like to make sure that the vibe is pretty positive because being a parent, you know what I mean? Like I need the music. I want kids to be able to listen to our music. So when there's gun talk and all this stuff, like
Mhm.
it's in a negative way, you know what I mean? Like it's obviously there's some ways where you might just have a story with a gun, but it's not. It's just life. That's life, right? But when you say it in a negative way, like I'm gonna blast someone, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna, it's like it's inciting violence. You know what I mean? I don't like. I don't really. I try to stay away from that type of vibe, that kind of hip hop, and not
Absolutely. I think that's very important.
being fathers, being older heads. I think that's very important personally. Like, so I try to um,
Absolutely.
look over people's music before I put them on my bills, and just make sure we're along the same kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Like, because I noticed that there's a lot of
Absolutely.
Australian hip hop coming through and getting very, very popular. That's very like drill heavy, like ops heavy, this like drugs heavy, and yeah, no, I try to move away from that personally and try to have content that's positive and keep what I'm doing positive and unified with similar like-minded artists. You know what I mean? I think that's something that I try to unite around Australia and keep the circle. The vibes just around that same type of energy. I think that's important for me. Um, but I mean, those artists are gonna do what they do regardless, and people will love it regardless. It is what it is. But yeah,
Yeah, I suppose there's a marker
it
for that.
really is.
There's a marker for everything. It depends where you want to go as an artist, where you want to try to evolve to. Um, there's going to be a lot of people who love that kind of stuff because that's the only thing that they know. That's the only thing they grew up around, and that's where their mentalities stay, and they don't try to evolve past that. And that's all good and well. That's up to them and their journey, But I see what you're saying in regards to wanting to, set an example, be
Yeah,
responsible
I think so, man.
for
Because
shaping the minds of the next generation
yeah,
too.
that's where I'm at personally. Like, especially being older, like I feel it's our duty to move in that direction. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? Like, especially now you hear
absolutely.
people walking around with machetes and stuff. These things, gun things happening in Sydney, the Bondi.
Mm,
Like
hmm
we gotta make a change in it, and music is a big influence to a lot of people. So we've got to move in a positive direction. You know what I mean?
absolutely. I'm ready to go, man. As soon as you give me the call, brother. If you ever need me on stage in Sydney to promote unity, I'm
Yeah,
there.
man. Respect.
So, how did that responsibility change how you approach writing and recording?
Hmm. Well, I always try to have content with my music, whether it be music that just makes people feel good. Like, for example, my track "Pay Attention" is it's just lyrical, bang, 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 back and forth with Unchained, another rapper that features in my song. And that's just a feel good song, like energy, da da da. So the lyrics is just bar heavy type thing. And that's the vibe I was going for in that one. But there'll be another song like Ballad for the Brokenhearted. Now, that one right there was something I took my time with. I wrote it from many perspectives of like how you may have lost a loved one, you may have lost a partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, brother, sister. So you can relate to it from your own perspective. It's like your personal experience, and then I'm expressing it and knowing that people will relate to that in some way, shape, or form. I think that's very important. And I try to do that from song to song. Like my latest single, Press Rewind, is about thinking back on memories that we held close to us. And I was going through some heavy stuff in life, and I was like speaking on those personal experiences, and then knowing that people will relate from their own perspective. So trying to keep the content,
Absolutely.
like aligned with my life and knowing that people will relate. I think that's very important for me personally. Yeah.
So, do you think social media has helped Australian hip hop grow, or did it dilute parts of the culture that made it special in the first place?
I think it's definitely helped it grow. It's helped us shift in a different direction. Um, Personally, I'm very thankful for social media because I got I built a big part of my following through MySpace. Would you believe MySpace? Yeah, thank you, MySpace. Um, I would relentlessly send videos of my music videos to people, just bang, bang, bang. And people would just respond, "Holy shit, this is great. Wow, wow, where can I hear more? When are you coming to do a show out here?" Da, da, da. And I just built it up
Right, right.
like no tomorrow. And back then, you didn't have it on your phone. So what you do is like I'd go to an internet cafe and do promo for hours. So I
Right,
would
I remember that too, man.
I
Exactly.
was
Right.
relentless, bro. Like I would like set time up and finish work. I'd go home and I couldn't wait, and I just bang bang. So basically, I'm sending these messages to everyone, copy paste, bang 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 bang, and then I'd step away from my computer, have to go do some things. I'd come back, no lie, 20, 30, 40 messages. Wow, this is crazy. And then you get the occasional one. What's this dickhead? Why are you sending me this shit? And it's like, have a good day, mate. It's like, you know what I mean? One out of like 20, 30. And back then it wasn't like flagged as spam and all that. Like, so just go through. Whereas now it's very different. Like Facebook was very good before, but now it's harder because they market as spam and stuff like that. And there's too many people scamming and stuff. So it's kind of ruined that. So the promo was harder. So you've got to kind of link in different ways, and you got to figure it out, like maybe following mutuals, maybe linking in like, oh, hey, I see you
Mm,
know this guy, you might like this is what I do. Or you meet people at shows and just shake hands and just build it. You have to build in other ways now, so it's evolved and changed in so many
mm.
ways. Now you got like the TikTok world, but then you got people like our age, older. It's very different. It's a tough one to crack. How does an older person do anything with this platform? Like for me, that's kind of like I still scratch my head on it. I don't really, yeah, it's a tough one. So I'm more Instagram and Facebook nowadays. Yeah,
So, how important is authenticity in a time where social media can create fake success?
but yeah, yeah. So many people buy followers, buy likes. Bro, you can tell them a mile away though, right? You already know. Like someone's got a like 10K following and then they got 3 likes. It's like, bro, really? Like,
Right.
it's harder to get likes now too. I remember back in the day, Instagram, maybe 6, 7 years ago, you'd put up a post and it had like boom, 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 50 likes right away. And it was like, mad. I used to get like on average 100 likes. But all that shit doesn't matter, man. It's like, who cares? Like, doesn't mean shit.
Mm,
It's like you just want people to see the
right.
content. You got to stop worrying about the numbers, da da da, all that. You want people to see it, but not like force them to. You kind of not force it. You know what I mean? Like you just want to do your thing. Of a certain like if you keep putting out quality, people are going to see it eventually. And that music is new to people too. Like you could have a track from 5 years ago that's done well, and then share it with a new fan. Wow, their mind is blown because it's still quality music, right? You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? So a lot's changed. A lot's changed. I think people you can see through it. So the way you act is very important.
So,
And yeah, face values.
right.
If you're out at shows and you're showing love to the hip hop community, like when I see artists come through touring, for example, Bit of Belief came through recently from Perth. Went to his show, showed him love, showed him support. He actually got me up on stage to do a verse on his one of his songs, and you just show that love right back. It's
Would have been
important.
awesome. Mm.
And like the being in the crowd, you shake a lot of people's hands. Hey, nice to meet you, da da, and that's important, right?
What is one industry reality that new artists are not prepared for?
Being accepted. You gotta have thick skin. You gotta be prepared that not everyone's gonna like you. Do you know what I mean? Like one thing I know is people, not everyone will like you, and you just gotta be. That's okay. Like I had someone the other day say, "I'm not gonna check out your music." I go, "That's fine. That's not a problem. You don't have to check it out, but it's there if you want to. But if you don't want to, have a good day." And I go, "Have you had a bad day or something? I hope it gets better." Like, so my response was like, "I wish you well, regardless. If you don't have to listen, it's there if you want to, but I'm not going to force no one to listen." Do you know what I mean?
So, so pretty much have a thick skin. Don't worry about outside validation. Just believe in yourself and pretty much continue your
Keep it
journey.
moving in a positive direction. Like, don't let, if that's your direction that you want to travel, then keep going. Well, like, don't let no one dim your light. What for? Just say, if you don't like it, you don't like it. That's okay, right?
So, if you could sit down with your younger self at the start of your career, what would you tell him?
Well, my younger self was hungry as fuck. And, man, to be honest, like, my work ethic back then, like I used to have a lot of people tell me your work ethic is bananas, man. Like what you do, the way you're out there pushing. I used to hand flyers out on the street, so I just tell my younger self, keep going, young fella. Like, um, if I could do things different, maybe just what would I say? Like because I always wanted back when I was younger, it was always like a thing like, oh, I want to be signed. The industry they put it out to you like you got to get signed, and it's like not really, no. And I think it was a blessing that I never got signed because it allowed me to be independent as fuck, own my songs, own everything, no mess, no drama. I did have a little bit of drama with when you could first release a digital music with one of my albums. It got a bit difficult with this company that put it out. They actually put it out without saying yes. They just put it out, and I'm like, hold on, what did you do? Why'd you just put that out? That's not okay. And I go, take it off. They go, oh, we can't really take that off right now. And I'm like, you can't just do that. And yeah, it got messy, and they owed me money for a while. That was actually the peak to 2010. So that got messy. That was yeah. So that taught me a lot. Like, don't trust people. Like, hand them over your project and be like, here, like, let's release it at this date. Like, nah, don't. You got to be very mindful of these type of the industry vultures, bro. Like these types that know. So you got to be careful.
That's very sound
Yeah,
advice
you got to be very
for
careful
the
and
younger artists coming up.
get make sure that your agreements are right, they're fair, because you never know when a song may take off or not take off. But just have it all, you know, APRA registered and all that. Like, just make sure everyone's good and everyone's clear. You know, if a beat maker wants a fee for their beat, you pay them the fee and say, what does this mean? Does this mean I can release it? Be clear. Just watch for there's some beat makers I've had difficulties with too. Um, you just got to be very clear with, especially when I was young, I didn't really know. Um, once money's being exchanged, like you ask your rights, what can I do with this? What's my limit with this? I think it's important to be clear with that.
And sync licenses and all these kind
Yeah,
of
you got
things
to
are
be
very
clear.
tricky for young artists these days.
I've had one producer from America. He was being extremely difficult, and I we had a bonus track on my third album, like Food for the Soul, and he was like, "Man, I want you to pull that track off," and I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "I just don't fuck with you anymore," and I'm like, "You don't have to fuck with me. We just done a track like 5, 6, 7 years ago. What do you care? Like it's out, it's done." Nah, but I want you to take it off. I'm like, can't we come to some sort of agreement here? Like, what's the deal? Okay, let's get on a phone call. Let's chat like men. We spoke for like an hour. Regardless, he just wouldn't. He's like, I just don't fuck with you anymore. I didn't know what his problem was or why, and he wanted me to pull it off. I go, how much do you need for the beat, um, for me to keep it up there? And he's like, oh, you can't afford it. And I'm like, what does that mean? See what so I'm saying is like he wasn't clear from day dot, like what he wanted. And he actually gifted me the beat. He said, here, this is for you. I fuck with you. Rap on it. Let's put it
Right.
out there.
And by the sounds of it, he's got a very big ego as well.
Well, he wasn't clear from the start. You know what I'm saying? It's like if he wanted a fee to start with, if he wanted to charge me for the beat, just say the beat costs this much, no worries, and then I pay him. But then for it to be a problem later, like, but it's already released. We agreed we would put music out. I go, dude, it's not generating much money. It was released 6, 7 years ago. And he kept asking,
Mm.
bugging for royalties, this, that, and
So I wanna switch it up a little bit and ask you about fatherhood.
yeah.
So how did becoming a father change the way you see life and purpose, my brother?
Oh, to be honest, man, like my son was born during COVID time, so the second lockdown. So to I had my son at 41 years old, so it was a blessing. It was like a big wow moment. It was a big change in my life. It was like, man,
Yeah.
it was like a light switch just bang. And then I had this kid in my arms. I was like, wow, man, this is incredible. And it was a great feeling and just it changed my mode, like the way I think, the way I do life, the way I see life, the angles I take, working harder, working more efficiently. Like, how can I do this better? So I'm home more to deal with this kid, like it changed me a
So you
lot.
have what was the biggest internal shift you felt when you first held your child in your hands? As in, like, how did you feel about life? How did your perception change?
Yeah, just like by any means necessarily, like I'm gonna protect this kid and like make sure he has the best of things and make sure he's happy. He's raised in
Absolutely.
an environment where with love, and that's very important. Yeah, changed me very
Mm.
much. So
Did fatherhood change your definition of success?
yes, made me work harder in a different way. I think like it switched the mode, like something in the motor just went a different direction because you have more purpose now.
Right.
Do you know what You know what I'm saying? Like more purpose, more reason to do well, more reason to be a better person. Yeah.
Now, how do you balance being present as a father while still chasing creative goals?
can be hard, can be very hard. But you just find a way, I guess. Like obviously you have to work. My day job is a lifeguard. I'm a pool lifeguard. I've done that for 26 years. So it's very, you go to work, you do your work. It's shift work. You go and you come home, you leave it all there and you come back and then it's dad life. But with dad life, I'm also doing show promo. Oh, hey, I need to get this person on the bill. I need to contact this venue. I need to email this person. So my son might be around watching his cartoons, whatever, when I'm doing that. So he's close to me, you know what I mean? It's like
Mm,
he's out there, we're mucking around in between the emails and stuff. I'm flipping him around and like it's like I'm there, I'm present. He just wants me around, right? Like that's important.
absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Man, now I've known you for quite a while now, brother, and every time you put up a picture of you and your son, man, my heart, man, is like gets warmed up, man. It's like that's the epitome of a good father, man. Like God bless you, brother.
Thank you.
You always approach it with heart and soul, and you always try to be present for your son. And I, that's one of the things I admire about you the most,
Well,
honestly.
he's something that keeps me going every day, man. Like my last maybe 4 years have been I've lost a lot of people in my life that are very important to me. And he's the he saved me from everything, man. Like so I owe it all to him. Just when I see his smile, it's just like, okay, makes sense. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, what lessons from fatherhood have actually made you a better artist?
Try to have more content that can connect people. Like, you think about, oh, what am I writing about here? How can I incorporate this as a father? Like, I've got to speak on life from a different sort of angle than when you're just in the world without children. So you change the way you're sort of what you're saying, you're a bit more cautious on what you say, because you know that like my son hears my music. He knows he hears it. He's been in one of my videos. I had him on one of my videos when he was about 1.5 years old. And yeah, like he knows what's going on. I'll get him into the studio soon and you'll see how it's all done. I think that's important. So yeah, you write a bit differently. You do, I think.
Hmm. So, do you feel pressure to be a role model now compared to before you had
Yeah,
your son?
yeah, a bit in a way. I always felt that as an artist personally to be a good role model because, like it or not, you don't know who's listening. Like you're gonna have people come up to you. I've had kids come up to me like, or parents with their kids, and then they're like, "My son really likes your music," and he's like 8 years old or whatever. And you shake their hand, "Hey, nice to meet you," and you realize, oh damn, I'm influencing these kids, and so
Mm.
even back then, I'd always be mindful, like, okay, I've got to make sure I keep the music fairly clean for these kids because they're listening. And some of them have grown up and they still will follow my music. And I've had like mothers and their daughters come to shows. And like, yeah, that's crazy. Like, yeah, I've been around a long time.
So, how do you stay true to yourself when trends and industry sounds keep changing?
When friends in the industry sounds, well, back in about 2013, I went over to New York City. And one of the things when I went to New York which was important to me was to really, really, really feel where this culture came from. So I went on this thing called the hip hop tour with Grandmaster Caz. Now Grandmaster Caz is a hip hop legend. He's like one of the forefathers. People like Nas and Jay-Z have mentioned in his raps and that. And well, now this guy, he's like an older head and he takes you around in this bus and he takes you to the Bronx. He takes you to Harlem and all these places, and he talks about the culture and this happened here and this. And man, I was just like, wow, like kid in a candy store. And he goes to me, he goes, "Can anyone rap on this bus?" And I just go, ding. like, and I'm like one of the only white kids on the bus, right? And they're like, they look at me like, eh, yeah, you know. And then he goes, "You want a beat? You want a beat?" And I go, "No, no, no, a cappella." And I just da 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 da, and then the whole crowd, the whole bus went, like they loved it, you know. And they were surprised because they didn't expect that from me. And unfortunately, I don't have footage of this, but I do have footage of me and Grandmaster Kaz shaking hands after, and he did a little promo thing for my album. It's actually on my Instagram. People were like, "Whoa, that's pretty cool," because he's pretty known and respected. He actually did a song with Macklemore. Yeah, yeah. So we went back and forth on the bus too. Like he rapped after me, and he goes, "You got anything else? You got anything else, young fella?" And then I went again. Bah, bah, bah. We're going back and forth, and sort of just little fun on the bus. And he knew like I could come with some other stuff. He like so we had fun on that bus, and to feel hip hop like that, and then you go to the birthplace of hip hop in Sedgwick Ave, and you see it, and you're just like, wow, this is where it all started, eh? It 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 means so much, like to know where it all came from for me, because it's like this is what I do. I love to do. So when you see that, you're like, this is special. You know what I mean? Like so to soak it up like that it made me understand a little more about why I do what I do and why I keep it authentic and why I do it a certain way. And I'm not like getting paid is cool and all that, but it's like I could get paid in many ways. I could put on a suit, I could put on a construction outfit, go do this, do that. But when I go do hip hop, I'm connecting with the people, shaking their hands, I'm rocking the crowd, I'm making people happy, man. And this is where it really, really, that's payment for the soul. That's food for the soul. That's why I put my album like food for the soul. That's like, it's more than, just music, bro. You know what I mean? It's deeper than that. So it just fulfills me in so many ways.
Absolutely, brother. That's so profound, man. That's the same feeling I get when I'm on stage
Yeah.
as well. Seeing the faces and they're happy and they're rocking, and you've sparked something in their brain, and they move a certain way after that. After you jump on, man, it's just like it's better than anything, man.
Yeah. Like when I'm on stage, like I try to go all angles, that, because you make people feel included and like welcome. And you know, just when you like in between songs talk to people and then you're talking over here, you're talking over. That's important because you're looking at them. It's like you're speaking to them, and then you're performing with them, and then
Mm,
I might get the mic and go da da da, like so they're rapping the lyrics too. Like so that way it's a real
yeah.
interaction and it's like an experience, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it just hits the spot, man. It's special. So. I've really built it up to a point where it's like it's just an experience, man, and like I love that.
I respect that a lot, man. So, what role does discipline play in your creative process?
It's very important because sometimes you have a deadline to like complete a song or hey, I really need to get this down because I need to perform this at the gig or I've really got to get the single out or I've really got to get this master done. I've really got to rehearse. I need to get that one verse. I fumble a little. I need to rehearse again. I need to fit it in. So it's like time management is extremely important for me. And I'm sure for other MCs that are out there performing and recording, whatever,
Especially those of us who have kids as
So
well.
it's like sometimes where do you find the
Absolutely.
time? My kid's jumping around when I'm performing. He loves it. It's like it's like I don't mind. It's like I'm entertaining him. It's like he's just jumping around. That's all good. You can jump around as much as you want. Just don't jump around and crash on the laptop, bro. Like that's all.
Even my kids, when I'm writing music, when I'm writing my tracks, they help me. Like they pretty much like they help me rehearse. They help me, perfect it. Like we play it together. They know it word by word. Like my track Free Palestine, they know it word by word. They know the exact
That's
cadence.
so
They
cool.
know the exact breathing points. They know everything. And that's like wow to me. Like, kids are like sponges. They pick up everything.
Man, it's so true.
So they even pick up your cadence and everything.
I was showing my son
You
like a
know.
demo of a song in the car, and then the chorus is very catchy, and I'm gonna get a male singer to do the chorus on this one song. And this is a potential single, so it's something I've had this sitting for a while, and it's like I know this one could really bang because it's got one of those beats. It's just like, yeah, man, this is special. And
Yeah,
then I go,
yeah.
hey, son, like it's got a draft verse on the front, and then the second verse I've just wrote recently, and my singer right now who's doing the chorus, he's got a bit of stuff going on. So we're just waiting. We've got to sit in there, waiting. I'm just doing some other shit in the meantime. But I remember showing it to my son and I go, oh, this is how the chorus will go. Da 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 da. And then I sung him the hook and he's like, he goes, yeah, do that again, do that again. And so we play it again. And then I picked him up from daycare like that day or a day later. He goes, play that Gotta Get It song, Gotta Get It. And I'm like, what? He just started singing the chorus. I'm like, you're kidding. Like he remembered, and he was like 4 years old at the time. And I'm like, how do you remember that? Okay, that's a good sign. It's catchy. But it blew my mind because he remembered something that's not recorded. It's not even there. Like it's not. So it's just me
Mm,
sort of like singing along. And like I don't have the best singing voice, but it's just like,
right,
this is how we'll go, son. Da
right.
da da da. And it was like, he remembered it.
No, it's just
That's
because
cool.
our kids, man, our kids are wonderful like that because they love us so
Yeah.
much. They'll take the time to remember the cadence. They'll take the time to remember the words. Because that's how important we are to them. And I suppose that's how important, other younger artists coming up in the game, how important we are to them as well,
Yeah.
because we're the older OGs, and they look up to us for guidance. So how do you handle creative blocks or moments of doubt, brother, for those younger artists listening in today?
Like writer's block.
Like writer's block, yeah.
Man, writer's block is happens all the time for me personally. Like sometimes I gotta leave songs alone and put it aside to feel something a little more around that topic and then go back to it. You know what I mean? Like I might need to feel some life and then I'll be like, oh,
Right.
that something's inspired me to go back to that song. So sometimes I'll have 3, 4 songs going at once and I'll come back to them and then like boom, get it. Like that song I was talking about before, I had the first verse down, man, 6, 7 years ago, and I just had it sitting there. And I remember playing it. I was like, this song's too good to not to release. What am I doing with it? And then it made me write a second verse. So now this song will see the light of day, and it's that good, and the concepts that just flows so well. It's like I wrote the
Mm,
second verse like 7 years later, but it's still good music, and I'm going to re-record the first verse. So it's still me, but it's just going to be, touched up a bit. You know what I mean? So sometimes with music, you got to put it away for a bit, put it on the shelf, you might say, and come back to it. And that's important. And sometimes for me, like I might need to write featuring artists, whether it be a rapper or a singer, the right kind of vocal um, to lace it, to bring it to life. Or I might need an instrument like a trumpet or a saxophone. I like bringing in a bit of instrument to some songs. You know what I mean? So I'm a perfectionist, but writer's block is common for me personally. Sometimes it will flow very well some days, and some days just not at all. Sometimes for a week, whole week, nothing. But like the bars need to be right. So if the bars are not right, they don't mean nothing. It's like I'm gonna cross that out and rewrite it. You know what I mean? Because it's got to be clever. It's got to be witty. You got to bring something. You know what I mean? Otherwise, what's the point? Mm.
absolutely. So Brother, what keeps you motivated when music feels heavy or when life gets overwhelming?
What gets me motivated? Find going to the gym helps me personally, like more mental than anything, man. Like it's not necessarily like, oh, I've gotta be like, strong as I gotta be out here 5 days a week. Like it's more like that's a mental thing for me, man. Like I feel better once I've been in the gym and just had a gym session. I like the burn feeling. Also getting on a basketball court, having a good run, clears my head. Yeah, man. I find that stuff's important. Personally, sport, gym, very important. It's a good balance too. I'm a big basketball guy. I love my basketball.
But also, how important is mental strength in this industry? So, brother, how important is mental strength in this industry?
Oh, very important because you, like a lot of people, they doubt themselves and they think that, oh, I might not be doing too good, whatever. Like, oh, this show wasn't the best, but not every show is gonna be like a sellout. Not every show is gonna be, like great. You take your highs with the lows. It's like how you gonna like someone like De La Soul, for example. It reminds me of them. Like that they had a long, long career. They even lost one of their members. That now they're still going. They're still active. They're about to come to Australia, and you got to take the highs with the lows, and you know what I mean. Like you got to ride the wave because it's not always going to be great. You know what I'm saying? Like you might have a hit single 1 year, and then you don't have. You know how hard it is to get a hit single. Like it might take 20 songs to get another hit single. That's what people got to understand. You're like extremely lucky if you get one. Like I don't have one.
Mm.
I've got songs that people love. I've got songs that people really want to see in my track list. Me play live. But you're very lucky if you get that hit, that one song that can carry you. But you just got to ride the wave, man. Like it's important to just stay positive, keep moving in that positive direction. Think about what you do this for. Like for me personally, like I do this hip hop shit because I love it. So I ask myself, as long as I love it, then keep going. Like, what's the point of stopping? Why would I just stop something I love?
Mm.
It gives me so much more than just, you know, hip hop just it's in
Absolutely,
me,
brother.
man. Like it gives me so much that I love it so much that it gives me a lot and it gives others lots. So why would I stop? Like and I can help others. Like when I do my shows, it puts on so many upcoming MCs and exposes them to a decent sized crowd, whereas they might not get that opportunity. It may open a doorway for them to get more gigs. So it's that giving back is so important to me as well. So regardless of the
Mm.
show being massive and being such a great success, like you're helping others build and start something, and I've seen so many people, I've put on artists where they've been extremely successful. Like I've seen people come from just support act to their own massive tours. And it's beautiful to see, man. So it's like keep going. Like if you keep creating quality music, the sky's the limit and beyond. You know what I mean? So sometimes you just got to get back in the studio, get back on the horse, and just keep writing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So when I hear you speak about culture, brother, family, and responsibility, I don't just hear an artist. I hear someone building something that's meant to outlive trends and moments. And that brings me to the Essence Entertainment. I want to understand the story behind building something that carries your name and your vision. Could you please share with the audience how that came about?
Okay, so the Essence Entertainment came about when I was I was just about to release my third album called Like Food for the Soul. So I had it sitting there, pretty much the master, and I was shooting it around to various labels, Elephant Tracks, Obese Records. All these were all popping at the time. If you were to get out on one of those, you'd like be able to build high like profile, like. And I had a goal to be on one of these like sort of labels and like, oh, maybe they could help me really, really get established and really, really get known. But I was already known. Like this is what I was kind of doubting myself, like, like, do I need that? But it's like in your head, it's like you need to be on these labels to come to another level. And then they actually said no to me. They said, sorry, we have too many artists on our roster
Oh,
right
wow.
now, or Dagger, your stuff's dope. We see you doing what you're doing, but unfortunately, we don't have enough resources or whatever. So I was like, okay, it is what it is. So I just started. I'm like, you know what? Cool. So I created this logo, the Essence Entertainment. I go, let's just sell my own shit. And you know what? Best thing I've ever done, man, because it's just
Yeah, man.
quality control. And it's like, you know what? Okay, no worries. And I remember the artists they went with. They had at the
Mm.
times, and those artists are gone, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, so I kept going. Like, I just kept going, man. So you know what I mean? It's like I feel like maybe they made a wrong move, but it was a blessing in disguise for me because it's like I have control. Like they would have controlled me. It was, and like I don't really like that. This is my art. This is my expression in my way. You know what I mean? So it's important that I do it my way. Um, So it's kind of a blessing in disguise. And then, so I work under a banner, which is the Essence Entertainment, and it's just a more professional approach. You know what I'm saying? So when you see my shows, it says
Mm.
NJE and the Essence Entertainment presents. So I just work under that banner and release my music through the label. I once had an artist under the
Yeah.
label. Um, he's now a family man. He works a busy job, so he kind of went that way, and that's all good. So I didn't really focus too much on artists. I focused more on shows and giving opportunity to artists. So that way, rather than signing artists and that, I could give opportunity through shows, city to city, state to state, which is kind of like I'm still helping artists, but not on that level of like, because I needed a lot of time to build up an artist, to be a manager, you know what I
Mm.
mean? Like, so maybe that's something
Of
for the
course.
future,
That's
but
not an easy task
it
as well.
really is. Yeah. So, and you can only do so much as like what they put up for the table to the table. Like, they have a single ready? Do they have a video ready? Like, do you have product? Like, what are we going to do here? What's the plan? What's the goals? So it gets a little hard because not everyone has your work ethic or the time that you have, etc., etc. They may have a very demanding job. They may have a couple of kids, one kid. They may have a situation where they don't have the time. So everyone's different. So, but when I do the shows, it's like I can provide the opportunity for many to have like a platform, and then it's like from there you can grow. If you need to ask me a question, come to ask me a question. That's fine. I'm happy to drop some advice. I do a bit of mentoring too, so like I put the word
Well,
out every now and
that's
then.
cool, man.
I keep it kind of low key these days because it takes time to sort of organize and stuff. But in those mentoring sessions, I try to drop gems to young artists who are more like kind of stuck in a point where it's like, where do I go from here? How do I write this? How do I construct a hook? How do how do I market my music? Um, so I can help people in that sense with my longevity. Um, I've actually been releasing music for 20 years this year. So yeah, I know a few things. I could say.
Well, God bless you, man. That's it's pretty profound, especially the mentorship.
Yeah.
So how does that work? Is it under the SS Entertainment, or is that through another outside body?
Man, to be honest, I just do it through my like Facebook and like Instagram. Occasionally, every now and
Hmm.
then, when my work's a little low, like I chuck out a status update or put a photo up and go, "Hey guys, we've got a bit of spare time at the moment this week. If anyone wants to fit in a mentor session, let me know." And then we just work it out, and we just do like this sort of thing where we just talk and we discuss what they need and what I can give them for advice, so they can just pick my brain for an hour or two and write down everything they need to know, or just gain it in their mind. And
So, do you think hip hop culture saved more lives than it ever gets credit for, especially for young men and women trying to find identity and direction?
oh, totally, I 100%, man. Like hip hop is the more like the more the years tick by, I realize how important and special this is. But if you do it the right way too, man, like a lot of people, they don't utilize it in a way. It's like, what does it mean to you? It's like if you're in this to just make money, like you're not going to get very far, man. People are going to see right through the wolves in sheep clothing. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be in it for the right reasons, and people can see when people are authentic and not just in it to you know. There's a lot of clout chasers out there. You see MCs, they put these sponsored posts up. Like, get them in my feed and Instagram a lot, and they're horrible rappers, bro. You can just tell they've just pumped $100 into a reel, and they've shot this video, and it looks like it's very amateur. Like, it's like, who's this guy? Where did he come from? We never heard of him,
Right.
and you just kind of giggle inside, like, bro, what's you know what I mean? It's like they're just trying to like get a quick buck or something.
Right.
There's so many out there, bro.
Yeah.
It's like
Absolutely. So, do you believe music is something that you choose or something that chose you?
bit of both, man. Bit of both. Like because I loved it first and foremost, so I was drawn towards it. So kind of chose me in that sense. And it's just something I do, something I live. Like it's just a part of me, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, hip hop is something that you live, and something you are hip hop. You don't just do it. You gotta live it
Yeah. In
in
every
a
way that
sense.
we
Man,
in
and
everything we do too, bro. Like it's not just the
mm.
music, it's the way we are as people too. You know what I mean? Like the way we are towards other humans and the connection with people.
So, was there a moment in life where music felt like it saved you or grounded you?
Yeah, very much so, man. I used to go busking a lot on the streets, and during those times I was like in a shift in life, and busking would give me so much more. Like I was trying to find myself again. You know what I mean? And like so sometimes you get to a point where you do so well with music. Like I did, I got to a point where I started doing very well with music, and I could have even left my job, but I chose to stick it out with my job and stayed with it. And when I started busking, and some people go, "Why are you busking?" It's like you're going backwards. Like I'm like, no, I just want to connect with different people and just be out there. Again, hip hop comes from the streets. This is where it's at. So
That's
it
right.
was kind of like some people thought it was going backwards, but for me, it was sort of like, no, I need to connect with where it comes from, and just be out here with the people. So I'll do it like a rehearsal, like, so I'll be busking and I'd make a little bit of money that would maybe be my petrol for work, whatever. So I'd go towards that. But I'm also like then rehearsing for a show, and then I could put like a flyer there and it'd be promotion for the show. Um, and it gave me like time to connect with people. Like sometimes you'd meet homeless people and they'd go, "Oh, thanks, man. I needed to hear this right now." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Why is that?" And I'd
Yeah.
hear their story. And so you would see people from a different light, from a different angle. And it grounded me as a person
Mhm.
and made me realize like whatever I was going through wasn't half as bad as what they was going through. And
Mhm.
yeah, it just changed me as a person, I think. And also when I lived in Queensland for 3 years, and the music like busking in the streets out there was very different. You'd be meeting a lot of different people from different walks of life, and I was struggling finding employment up there too, like solid employment. And the busking allowed me to stay up and stay afloat. And so it was quite frustrating as a man to not have enough money to do what I needed to do. Um, so the busking gave me a lot, like because it connected me with the people and it made me it was allowed me to stay afloat and yeah, helped me discover a different side of myself, you know what I mean? Like and connect with the streets a little more and I don't busk anymore because I'm a father, but I focus more on the shows and spending more time with my son. But at that time, I think it was important to, as a person, to see how it is out here in the Sydney streets and the Brisbane streets, and how hard life can be for some people, and how you may put a smile on someone's face and change their day by just doing what you do, being you. Yeah, it was quite special.
So, what is one move that separates professionals from amateurs in music?
I think the way you carry yourself, you know, the way you are with people, like everyone's like, if someone comes up to me and says, I like what you do, I'm gonna say thank you and shake their hand, regardless who they are. Like, take the time. If they have time for you, take time for them, and don't when you meet people who are famous or whatever, and they may act a certain way, and you're like, whoa, you didn't expect that, and you're kind of offended because they acted a certain way. Like, I would not like someone to meet me and who admires me and likes what I do and think like, oh, that guy, So for me, I was thankful of every person. I think that's very important. So be humble, be thankful.
Be humble. That's a beautiful thing. I've always been humbled throughout my whole music career. And I think that's what people have admired about me the most is that I can go to that street level, still remain who I am. I haven't sold my soul. I'm still an independent artist myself, especially an up and coming artist, trying to get into the game, trying to learn, trying to pay their respects, So that's why I approach it the same way too, brother. Always make time for those who make time for you.
Yeah, 100%.
But let me ask you, how important is business knowledge for artists today?
Oh, man, that is super important. I think because also like a big part of being a hip hop artist, like if you don't have a manager, like if you don't have smarts for business, how are you gonna like really succeed out here? You need to employ someone, right? So me, I'm self-managed. I once had a manager that would get me gigs that I didn't really want to get, like club gigs and stuff. And then I go, man, I need more of like I want to support the big names. And then I came back to him about a week later and go, hey man, I got my first international support. He's like, what do you mean? Who you got? I'm supporting Exhibit in 2 months. And he's like, what? How did you do that? I'm like, bro, I just emailed them and said, sold myself. You know what I mean? Like you gotta sell your product. You
Absolutely.
gotta come in a way, like come on an angle like I'm the best. I'm gonna slay that stage. I'm gonna make him proud. Like so I worded it right. I came with a professional approach
Mm.
and they saw it and they saw the vision and they said yes. And I did that without my manager. And then he was like, wow, no way. So I realized I didn't need a manager. And so we were friends and stuff. So we dissolved it in due time. And we just remained cool and, moved in different directions. But realized that I don't need it. Like, and then I went on to support Ice Cube, Bone Thugs and Harmony twice, The Game, Hobson, Listen Esso, Illy. so many big names. And I did it all myself, and just with an angle, come with an angle, show a bit of footage, show your latest video clip. Like, so I'm kind of selling my brand. I'm saying, hey, this is my brand. This is how I perform. I'm definitely going to warm it up proper
This is
for
what I'm
this.
capable of.
That's right, man. So you got to know how to market yourself, or you need someone to do it for you. So it's like maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a brother, maybe you need to hire someone, but you need some people need a team. You know what I mean? You need like a if you don't have that business mind in you, how are you gonna approach people? Like when you're booking venues, like I book all my own venues, I got to create relationships with these people. I've got to convince them that because they need to reach a certain quota, they need to reach whatever at the bar.
Mm.
Can you bring in this amount of people? Like, if you can't bring it, they're not like you've got to kind of be known. So I've got to convince like a venue in Hobart, I can bring 100 people. Like it's like a lot of people can't. So how do you
Especially when you've never been to Hobart before, right?
Yeah, so that it's just going off of what you're doing in Melbourne or what you're doing in Sydney. Oh yeah, I can get 200 in Sydney. Like so, it's like you got to sell yourself. You got to be confident. It's like, how are you going to do this? Do you have a plan? Do you have a marketing plan? So yeah, the business mind is extremely important. You can have the best bars in the world, but if you don't have a business mind, well, how are you going to get? Do you have a strategy? Do you have a plan? How are you going to roll out this single? How are you going to do you have reels ready to go? Because you need the reels nowadays, like do you have like some
Absolutely. And you also need an EPK too. So, that's very important for those young artists watching right now.
like I do my own graphic design. Luckily I have a diploma in graphic design, so I can do my own. But if you don't have a professional look, like like to your style and your presentation with your design, your flyers, your promo work, then people aren't going to take you very serious, are they? If they see a dodgy little cover art, they're going to be like, how serious do I
Yeah,
take this guy? Like the
exactly.
professionalism.
That looks amateurish.
Yeah, you want to
Right.
see
It
that
needs to
someone.
hold up a certain standard.
Why would you spend X amount in the studio on that track, but not X amount on the video, not X amount on the design work, not X amount on the headline show? Like you got to go across the board. It's got to be all professional. That's your name on that. It's like how you know. To me, it's not about the money. It's
Exactly.
about it's about the way I'm portrayed. It needs to be all professional. Everything.
Excuse me.
It's all good, man.
So what does success look like to you, brother, compared to 10 years ago?
Just more structured nowadays. Like it's more balance. It's like how do I balance this out? Like time for the kid, time for work. It's like allocating time. You know what I mean? So it's very different. Very different. Success is different. It's got a different definition nowadays because success is like, are you a successful father? Are you a successful person, human being? Like, there's so many ways you can look at it. Like, it's not always about the
Yeah,
artist.
no, but how do you look at it? Yeah, how do you look at a
I
person?
look at it from all those angles personally. Like the way I carry myself, the way I am with people, the way I am as a father. It's all packaged. Yeah.
So what does happiness look like to you today, brother?
The smile on my son's face. That's where it's at.
Outside of music and fatherhood, what keeps you inspired as a human being?
Good people, like good people, good stories. You hear good things happening. It's like other artists succeeding. It's like, yeah, get it, brother. That's it. And then that inspires me. It's like, I'll get up there and do that too. Oh, that's a really good video clip, man. Wow, look at that. That inspires me. The way he did it. Yeah, that's. I like the way he did that. That inspires me. Yeah. J. Cole's latest project. That inspired me.
So what are you still chasing growing into or building toward?
Well, at the moment, working towards new music, like polishing up some songs. Like I've got some potential singles. So just sort of reworking them, getting them to a point of like, okay, this is the one, and release some more singles. Just keep rolling out quality work because it's all about the quality
And
work.
speaking of new music, we should, talk a little bit about our track off the air as well, because I think I'm ready for us to do that collaboration now.
Yeah, I like what you do. You know, I like what you do. There's a reason I asked you on my show. Your energy and that set was beautiful, like very special, man. So it would be good to make something happen. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, me
I
personally,
appreciate that, my brother.
I all love. Like I'm always working towards new music and just seeing where it will take me. And yeah, man, just enjoying the journey and staying creative. Yeah,
Beautiful. So if you could leave one message for your son when he becomes an adult, what would that be?
stay positive, stay optimistic, just keep on smiling. You know, that's where it's at. Live your best life. You know.
So that's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing. Now, if you could leave one message for Australian hip hop, what would that be?
You know, like let's just keep it unified. Let's unify with each other. And move together in a positive direction. Like let's unify city to city, state to state, bring it together because we can be more powerful as one. You know what I'm saying? Like the more we do that, the bigger the scene is going to get, and it needs to get back to that because there was a point where I used to go to shows and they were packed, and it needs to get back to that. Like it's still there, but it's like some scenes, city to city, state to state, need a bit more of that. Let's just get out and support. I know for some it's hard because there's family, there's kids, there's responsibilities, work, life is expensive. But let's just try to support him. That's why we try to encourage people with like, if you just put a little comment on someone's post feed, I always try to show a little love for my fellow hip hop artists, like a little flame emoji. And they're like, oh, NJE just showed me some love. It's like, because that will spark it. And it's like that little comment, it helps.
Absolutely.
So you just show a bit of love.
Absolutely. I wanted to ask, so what is one song that instantly takes you back to your childhood?
We like a Coolio song, like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, get down on the floor. Gotta get up to get down. Yeah, like, man, something about Coolio, he was a fun, like, hip hop dude. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
used to love that, like, growing up. Um, yeah,
Nice, man. If you could perform anywhere in the world, where would it be?
I've already done New York. I've already done Hawaii. Um, Probably New Zealand, like back home. I could I could actually make it happen, so I should. Um, it's definitely a bucket list thing, and to get back there and do that would be wonderful, man. Yeah,
Yes, man.
it'll hit a spot.
So what is one food you always look for when traveling to shows?
Food, oh man, a good steak. Yeah, like my I have like a go to when I go to Adelaide. I go to this like this spot. It's like a sort of like a pub restaurant, and you get this like stone grilled steak, and it's just amazing.
Nice.
And I always go to that
Well, with
spot.
the mushroom sauce and veggies or chips
Yeah.
and
Oh,
veggies?
well, actually, you get crocodile and you get prawns and kangaroo, and it's like, bro, that's my little.
Give a shout out to this place, man. Give it a bit of a plug, man. What's this place called, man? I want
They're
to go
called the
there, man. I'm
Strathmore.
hungry
The
right now.
Strathmore. Yeah, man. So
It's Strathmore in Adelaide.
shout out to the Strathmore. Very, very good.
Yeah, beautiful, man. So if you weren't doing Music, what would you do, honestly?
Bro, it's funny you say that because I think I'd be involved with animals some way, shape, or form. In a zoo, um, I don't know, something involved with animals because I love animals. Yeah,
Conservation, yeah, absolutely, man. I could see you doing that.
yeah.
Now, who's someone people would be surprised influenced you?
Michael Jackson,
Yeah,
bro. Just
nice, man.
regardless of some people think, oh, he's crazy, he's loopy. What he did was just incredible. Like if you grew up in that era, bro,
Hmm.
he was
No, I did, man. I remember listening to Michael Jackson, man, on tape, man.
the levels was like this. Other artists, Michael Jackson, like you couldn't come close. And still to this day, anyone that says they come close, I heard people say stuff like, "Oh, Beyonce is surpassing." My, oh man, oh, whoever created that meme or whatever, that's disgusting. That's disgraceful because what Michael was doing with the videos and like it was just that.
And the message as well that he
Yes,
that he brought
so
out,
powerful, like
heal the world, make it
amazing.
a better place. Right,
Just goosebumps. You
you
should
know?
when you first seen these videos when they just come on and you just be like, "Oh my god, what did he do now?" It was incredible. It was incredible. As a kid, seeing that is so inspiring.
I think he's one of my inspirations, him and Prince,
Prince was
and yeah, there's
amazing.
a few others as well.
Yeah,
Mm. And what is one normal everyday thing that makes you happiest right now?
one everyday thing. To be honest, when my son wakes up and he's got the look in his eye, like, and he's like, when I first see him crack the smile and just like, that's just the best. That just drives me every day.
It's a beautiful thing, brother.
Yeah.
So, what is one thing about fatherhood that shocked you in a good way?
Can be hard sometimes. Like there can be challenges, and he's not always going to
Mm,
be good, well behaved. There's going to be some challenges. Got to do your best. No,
yeah, absolutely. So, what's one thing that actually shocked you about that part of fatherhood?
it's not easy. There's a lot of sacrifice. Like I remember when I first was getting up in the night to feed him or whatever, or change his nappies, whatever, and then I was just wrecked for work. And I'm like, this at work because you got to get used to the whole changing nappies late at night and waking up for bottles and it got you good.
I can relate, man. I'd finish a 12-hour shift, and then my real work starts when I get home. So it doesn't matter how tired you are outside of the house. When you get to the house, that's when your real work starts, man. So that can be very challenging for sure.
That's true.
Now, if your life right now had a soundtrack, what song would be playing?
Yeah. It's a hard knock life.
That's a great answer, man. You got to roll with the punches, brother. Like you have to be a warrior in this world, especially when you have kids. You can't take any sick days, any rest days. You have grinding. You have to keep going. Our kids need better from us. So that's amazing, bro. I take my hats off to you, man.
I was sick this week that just passed, like, but I looked at I'm like, I don't have time to be sick. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then I remember taking medicine and I'm just like, I gotta go to work, gotta keep going. And I just pushed through it. And I went to the gym and I just like, you know what, I don't have time. And then it just went.
Right. And see how that's the power of the mind, the power of the brain, man. It's like when you work through it, it's like a placebo effect it becomes. It's like it's not real. You convince your mind that you have to work through it and you work through it.
Just pumped the lemon and honey teas and just the cough medicine
Yeah.
and just push through. I didn't go to no doctor, nothing, just natural remedies and just keep going. You know what I mean? Like it's like you don't have time.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
So what's one thing your son does that instantly melts your heart, no matter what mood you're in?
I think it's just when he laughs. I love the little, he might just do a tickle or something. I'll just go up to him, like this, like the jive thing. And then he does that laugh. I love
Yeah,
that. That's like, it gets me. It's like music to your ears because it's like he's really happy. He's in his element because we're doing bloke stuff, like I'm picking him up upside down. And yeah, I love that. Yeah.
that's a beautiful thing. Brother NJE, I want to say this publicly. Thank you for representing the culture with authenticity.
Thank you,
Thank
man.
you for showing that fatherhood and artistry are not enemies. They are extensions of the same legacy. Thank you for showing that real respect is built through consistency, character, and presence, not just noise, brother. This is exactly why we do this podcast,
Yeah, man.
give people their flowers while they can still smell them,
Thank you, man.
to document living culture and to actually preserve real stories. This is the Zeus Podcast. Real truth, real growth, real conversations. Legacy and hip hop are not just spoken into existence, they are lived into existence. And every day you choose who you are. Brother NJE, thank you so much for your time, man. I've had a ball.
Thank you, man. Respect. And thank you for your time. Really appreciate it, man.
God bless you and your family, man. I'll speak to you very soon.
Speak soon, bro. Peace.
Take care.